that we have tried to convey to the other side.
All right, sir. I request you to stay on with us as we shift our focus to some other crucial developments. We're now learning that the US and European Union have unveiled new details about their trade framework, highlighting critical issues like the pharmaceutical and semiconductor tariffs. This has taken place after weeks of intense negotiations. Now Washington and Brussels have reached a deal agreeing to implement a blanket 15% tariff on EU exports to the US. EU Trade Commissioner Maros Sefcovic has called the agreement the most favorable trade deal the US has extended to any partner. A key part of the deal includes a conditional 15% tariff on European autos and auto parts, but this will only take effect after the EU introduces legislation to reduce its industrial duties. In addition, several Section 232 tariffs covering industries like lumber, semiconductors and pharmaceuticals have been capped at the 15% rate. Europe's pharmaceutical sector, which is the US's top source for imports, will also see these capped tariffs. This deal marks a significant step in US-EU trade relations, with both sides looking to stabilize key sectors in a challenging global economic climate. Before I go across to Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, who's still with us, let's in fact listen in to what exactly the EU Trade Commissioner has had to say.
15% all-inclusive tariff cap for the European Union. This is the most favorable trade deal the US has extended to any partner. A wide range of sectors, including strategic industries such as cars, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors and lumber, will benefit from this cap.
All right, that of course was the EU Trade Commissioner. Meanwhile, Ambassador Dayal still with us on the broadcast. Major deal between US and the European Union. What do you make of now the tariffs being capped at 15%?
You know, the US-EU trade deal, while averting a full-blown trade war, has generated mixed reactions in Europe, with some seeing it as beneficial and others as detrimental. While it does offer some economic benefits and reduces uncertainty, it also raises concerns about increased European dependence on the US and potential long-term political costs. Now, of course, there are some potential benefits for the EU. First of all, the avoidance of a trade war, because the deal prevents the imposition of significantly higher tariffs on European goods, which would have had a more severe economic impact. And then there is this reduced policy uncertainty, because this agreement provides clarity on the future of transatlantic trade, reducing uncertainty for businesses and investors. And there is also this aspect of increased market access. The deal could create more reciprocal and balanced relationship, potentially opening up new market opportunities for European businesses. But as you pointed out, there are also some potential drawbacks for the EU. First of all, the tariffs have increased. So while the tariffs are lower than what was initially being threatened, yet the 15% tariff on most EU exports to the US still represents a significant increase compared to pre-Trump levels. And also, there are some critics who worry about European dependence. They argue that the deal would deepen Europe's reliance on the US, particularly in areas like energy and defense. And of course, there are political costs, because some European leaders feel that the deal negotiated under the threat of tariffs undermines the EU's autonomy and bargaining